All right, everybody. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Fresh Takes podcast. I, of course, am Paul Russo, joining you from the Fair Lakes One studios, and across from me is a good friend of mine, the 2016 Keokuk College intramural dunk contest champion, Nick Felice. Nick, how you doing today?
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Yes, I am. There's only 3 people in it. I was the only one to make a dunk, and it was 8-foot hoops, but I'm the champ. It's another Tuesday.
They can't take that trophy away from you.
No. Little $2 trophy. It's mine.
It's a trophy nonetheless.
Yes. One of my few trophies that I've won in my life. But today's another Tuesday. Pitchers and catchers report around the corner.
Some already there.
Phil Mickelson, big win. Celebrity Big Brother concludes tomorrow.
Indoor Survivor, yes.
Yes. Go Ricky Williams.
Icky Sticky Ricky.
Yeah. So, another Tuesday. Another big show.
Another big show. You are right. And here's what we got on tap for you guys this evening. Cold evening here in Seneca Falls. But as long as you're with us, hopefully we'll provide you with some heat tonight. So we'll discuss the big news in the NFL and MLB, rather, being Kyler Murray. He makes his, I guess, official choice, if we can call it that. So we'll discuss that. Last week we talked a little bit about some trades we think should have happened. So we'll take a look at the trade deadline for the NBA, winners, losers, that type of deal. Then the All-Star game is this weekend, which means All-Star weekend, so we'll talk about our favorite All-Star moments from throughout the weekends that we've seen in our lifetime. Excuse me. We'll talk about some NASCAR stuff. Daytona 500 is Sunday, people. I'm the only one that's probably excited that joins us here on the regular basis, but it's coming up, which means we'll obviously have a couple times throughout the year we'll discuss it. So we'll discuss the main things to look forward to this year. And, Nick, we do have a phone call.
Oh.
We have a message.
Wow.
So we'll get to that at the end of the show.
I am shocked. It's not me.
Well, me and you discussed it already. Probably I didn't tee it up right. But for the listeners and the viewers, we have a call. So we'll hit that a little bit.
At the end of the show.
At the end of the show. And, yeah,
but your call matters to us.
Fun stuff, yeah. But so without further ado, Nick, let's jump right in, shall we?
Let's do it.
Kyler Murray has officially chosen the NFL over the MLB. Kyler, 2-sport athlete, drafted, was it 9th overall by the A's last year, and had a really good first year in rookie ball for the A's last summer. Obviously had to make a decision, declared himself eligible for the NFL draft anyway because he more or less had to. Had enough time on his hands, made a choice to declare for the NFL. That means he will have to forego, I believe it's 1.92, I think I saw was a signing bonus that he has to return. 1.92 million. Nice little chunk of change either way. To the A's. He was a non-roster invitee this year to Oakland A camp. He was actually, I think, the only outfielder I saw that got invited to A's camp this year. And they were the first team that had pitchers and catchers report yesterday, so a little fun fact there. When we originally discussed a few weeks back, we thought, at least in my mind, I thought his best bet was to play baseball, but I thought he'd probably go NFL. Clearly that's the case. He'll get obviously more immediate money in the NFL. Don't know long-term wise how well they'll go over, but certainly some other interesting focus points to look at there. And then obviously, teams kind of saying, hey, we're not going to be in the race. Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury's already said that, they don't want Kyler. He was Kyler's coach at Texas Tech for, a year? And Kingsbury's go with Rosen for now. Obviously, he might be bluffing, see what he can get for maybe the pick or take him anyway. But Nick, both our teams.
He was the Oklahoma coach, right?
Yeah.
Kingsbury.
No. Cliff Kingsbury was the Texas Tech coach.
Texas Tech. Oh.
Murray played a year at Tech before
really?
transferring. Yeah.
I thought they knew some connection.
Yeah. So, Nick, both our pro teams, the Redskins and the Giants, they both need a quarterback, in my mind, in a bad way. So, obviously, this has got to bring a little bit of hope and joy to you, I'd assume.
Yeah, but not really. And here's why. I don't know about you, Paul, but I think you are. I am way more a baseball fan than a football fan. Obviously, you've seen me talk on this show. Very knowledgeable about my sports, but baseball is my number one. And I like the NFL. I'm a Giants fan. Closet Giants fan right now. But more of a fantasy guy. But I think it's a big loss for baseball. It would have been nice to have a big name like that.
Yeah.
Like in a sport
where they need the big face and the big name.
Yeah.
The marketable
for
stuff.
ESPN. I'm not an ESPN guy right now. I used to love ESPN back in the day, but I don't know what's happening. Baseball tonight just went downhill. Now that's canceled.
# free Adnan.
Yes. He was a good guy. That I knew. But, yeah, it's just... To ESPN, yes, they need a big name like Kyler Murray to play. But if you're a true loyal baseball fan, there are big names in the league.
But this does suck, though, for baseball fans.
Yes. Especially A's fan, because you just lost that pick.
Yeah.
You'd get money back.
You can't get it back. There's no comp pick back for it either.
Nope. You lost that pick. That sucks. That whole wasted first-round pick is gone for the A's. But if you were looking at as an ESPN guy, yes, baseball needed this name. They needed a big name.
It's not so much just for the ESPN side of it either. They just need more marketable people, more...
Yes.
And we've had this discussion. I don't know if we've had it exactly on here, but we've had this discussion before. Like, the guy that baseball, like, people always point to say, like, Mike Trout. Mike Trout doesn't really have, like, a personality. You need a guy with personality, right? Kyler Murray's got personality.
Yeah. Like, Mike Trout's the best player in the game, but he's not the face of the game.
You need the guy who's got, the personality to back it, too.
Yeah.
A guy like a Harper. And they don't, they kind of utilize Harper, but not the extent they should.
Yep. But going back to your point,
yeah,
as a Giants and Redskins fan, yes, this is a big deal for him to come into the league. If you're a fan of him, I don't know if I'm sold on him as a quarterback in the league yet. He's very, very short. I mean, he's shorter than Russell Wilson, isn't he?
I think they're equal. I could be wrong.
He's short. And a lot of people had doubters of Russell Wilson. That's why he got drafted later. And this guy's going to get drafted early. And if he doesn't turn out like Russell Wilson, that is a wasted first-round pick for them. I think he's making a stupid decision. But I'm a baseball guy. If I had to choose a professional sport to play the rest of my life, it'd probably be golf. But second would be baseball. It'd be baseball. I just playing in the outdoors, summer league, a summer sport. I choose baseball.
Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray are the same height. 5'11". 5'11". They're
5'11". Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that Haskins either. I don't know what to think about the QB class coming out this year.
What's interesting about that too is
or the Duke guy.
Not to get too off track, I guess. The interesting part about that is they had Shea Patterson graded better than Haskins. So
yeah,
I think it was an NBC poll, PFT. I think so.
Who's better than Haskins? The Duke
PFT, NBC's PFT ranked Shea Patterson better than Haskins.
Is that the Duke guy?
No, Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
There's a Duke quarterback too, right?
Yeah, the Duke quarterback. The quarterback out of Buffalo, Tyree Jones, I think his name is. Yeah, so I think Kyler's making a good immediate move.
Yes.
I think, because like we said, and both our teams need, very least a young quarterback.
He's definitely getting more popular if he's successful in the NFL.
Yeah.
But time will tell. You just don't know. I would have chose baseball.
Yeah, I think we all would have. me and you anyway. By the all.
Oh yeah.
Of that.
To answer my question, are you a bigger baseball than football? I thought so. What's number one? NASCAR?
No, baseball.
Really?
Oh yeah. Baseball, then NASCAR, and
college football.
Man,
You
probably
like
just
college.
football in general. I like college over the NFL, but probably just football. I'd probably go baseball, NASCAR. Let me reclassify this. Baseball, auto racing / motorsport, basketball. Then really at this point with me, football and hockey are almost 4A, 4B. So
Not bad.
no. What about you?
Me?
Yeah. Give us your rankings.
Oh, baseball? Baseball. College basketball. And I'll probably go... I hate the NBA. I'll go PGA. PGA third. I might even put tennis over. I like my tennis. But then there's the NFL. I'm sorry, hockey's down there. I'll put NASCAR at hockey, that's for sure.
All right.
Definitely. But yeah, baseball and college basketball are my top two. Yeah.
All right. So Kyler Murray. Not to jump too quickly away from him.
I don't know anything about Kyler Murray. I don't know what his personality is.
Well, he's got the Heisman, obviously. He's pretty. I think he's relatively charismatic, all things considered.
Is he big-headed?
No, I wouldn't say he's big-headed. Obviously he knows how good he is, but he's got personality. He's got spunk to him. I mean, this is a guy who, you look back and there's only one other prolific quarterback in NFL history that wore a headband. And that was back in the mid-'80s with Jim McMahon. Kyler Murray's out here wearing headbands and doing whatever. I mean, he's got spunk, he's got flair to him, so be interesting to kind of see what might have been, what could have been.
It's gonna be tough when two professional sports want you to play.
Yeah. I mean, you can go ask Bo and Dion about that, but obviously time will certainly tell at this point with Kyler, I think.
We wish you the best.
Indeed we do.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler
Murray.
It's like saying Tyler, but with a K.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He should play baseball.
Yeah. All right. So with that in mind, we'll transition seamlessly over to some NBA trade deadline talk. Certainly did not end up being, I think, as big as we had hoped. I didn't think I'm trying to remember what I really said on last week here on the pod. But you certainly got the effect. I think I said it. I alluded to it about how the Pelicans don't need to trade AD this right before the deadline, and they didn't. They obviously have even all the way through next year's deadline because he's with them next year no matter what, and that's what happened. I'll say this as a question to you, Nick. The biggest trade in my mind was probably the Marc Gasol to Toronto trade.
Yeah.
Only because every other trade, not to downgrade it, well, I'll rephrase this, specifically on deadline day, because the biggest trade leading up to it was definitely the KP to Dallas trade.
But on deadline day, yeah.
But the specific deadline day trade, it's probably the Memphis trade. Memphis, they sent Marc Gasol, who's been really their face of the franchise for the past decade, to Toronto for Jonas Valanciunas, DeLon Wright, CJ Miles, and a second-round pick in 2024. So I'll pose it to you. I'll ask you what I thought. Is that the biggest trade of the day?
On deadline day.
Yeah, specifically for deadline day.
Yeah, good call. 100%. Because the only one I can really think of is Harrison Barnes to the Kings.
To the Kings, yeah.
Yeah, and that's just not.
I mean,
exhilarating.
Like I said, yeah, there had a bunch of hard trades like my Miami Heat they did it as more or less a salary dump at this point, getting rid of Tyler Johnson, Wayne Ellington, the Phoenix for Ryan Anderson, who
how's he doing?
I don't know if he's really seen too much court time.
Really?
I was watching the other night. They were playing in Golden State, and he was on the court for a few minutes, but didn't do too much. So, yeah, it was more or less salary dump. Like Wayne Ellington got waived by Phoenix. I think he's on like Detroit now or something. Detroit or Indiana. Like the Knicks, they waived. They ended up waiting Wes Matthews. Now he's the one in Indiana. Wayne Ellington's in Detroit.
Mm-hmm. And his Cantor still doesn't have a home,
which is surprising.
Yeah. Joakim Noah's got a home.
Well, there's a couple of bigs kind of meandering right now. I think Robin Lopez technically is not yet waived. They're working on that details.
The old Dick Center.
But Ennis and Robin, one of them is going to end up in Golden State would be my bet.
Ennis on Golden State, ooh. Be back in the media.
He's already in the media.
Yeah, I know, but he'll be back in the media.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He'll be back in the media. That's not good.
No.
Especially if they play LeBron in that first round. But I'm thinking, I know this doesn't really
the Lakers, too, they just moved around pieces, but nothing major either.
No. But not really with the deadline, it's just Lakers.
Oh, I just saw another trade, though, actually, from deadline day, and that was probably the Clippers and Sixers with Tobias Harris and Boban.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Although, I don't know. I know people are hyping him. Tobias Harris is a good player. I just don't fully understand why the Sixers kind of made the deal. Oh, that was a day before deadline day, though, wasn't it?
Might have been.
Because the Clippers turned Mike Muscala over to the Lakers in the Beasley trade.
Yeah, and Beasley got caught.
Yeah. So
Nick Stauskas did find a team, though. Back with the Cavs.
Shout out to the Cavs, yeah. So, yeah, actually, technically, the biggest deadline trade still probably is Marc Gasol.
Yes,
Grizzlies.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And Nick Stauskas got traded, I think, 3 times.
Nick Stauskas was on 4 teams in 2 days. Same with Wade Baldwin. Both of them got waived. Sauce Castillo is now on the Cavs.
Yeah.
Wild times.
But anyways, going back to this NBA talk, I might be getting swooped in, but do you think the Lakers are going to miss the playoffs?
No.
I hate to get swooped in.
I have a hard time believing that LeBron's going to miss the playoffs, period, at this point.
To the Kings.
Yeah.
Because it sucks right now, because really you're looking at Clippers, Kings, and Lakers getting that last spot. The other teams are trying.
Well, I think the Clippers, the way they did their trades, are kind of in tank mode.
Yeah, the Clippers are giving up on the playoffs.
Yeah.
Spot. So really it's just the Kings. And in an era that I've lived a pretty decent life. I don't remember a time where the Kings are going to beat out LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean,
I
think the only time in our lifetime that they've been like super good was that 01-02 series.
And I wasn't really.
Even then we were
6-7,
8-7, depending upon whatever way you really want to look at it.
7-8. Yeah.
And the thing that we most know about that series, for the most part, is the refs gave the series essentially to the Lakers, so.
Yep.
What's that say?
And now the Kings, 17 years later, trying to knock them out, but
they got a solid team, but
it's a nice college all-star team.
I don't understand some of their trading that they did, I guess. I don't know.
They got Barnes.
But they got rid of Shumpert.
Shumpert,
I mean, he wasn't getting a ton of time, I don't think.
No.
Here's the part that sucks about being trapped where we are, is even then, like, if you want to know anything really about the Kings, like, you really have to do YouTube highlights, because
I have not heard anything on that.
Yeah.
I just glanced at the standings. Not much about the Kings. And I blame ESPN. Back to ESPN sucking nowadays. Blame ya.
The Sun Kings.
But Yeah. Marc Gasol, definitely headline deadline day. But KP was the biggest trade.
All right, so
wait, hold on before you move on. Gasol, is he a free agent at the end of the year?
I think he might have 1 year left. It'd be one of those things where I'm going to have to check quick.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and fill some time, Nick.
All right. So Marc Gasol, let's just talk about it. In a day of NBA trades, I think the reason the Lakers didn't get Anthony Davis is payback when Memphis just gave you Paul Gasol back in the day. So, up yours, Magic. You didn't get AD, you never will. Well, bum. All right, back to Paul. You get the stat.
No, not quite.
All right, back to Nick. AD doesn't want to play for the Lakers. Never will.
Right.
Never will. LeBron, it's not your league anymore.
I got our answers.
Okay.
He's got 1 more year left before he's a free agent. So he'll be in Toronto all of next year. Well, unless they decide to trade him.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. So I'll cut you off at your end, unfortunately, right now.
It's all right.
Winners and losers of the deadline for you.
Loser, Lakers.
Really?
Winner, Knicks.
Yeah.
Very, very biased answer right there, but if the things work out for the Knicks, could be looking at an NBA Finals runner-up next year. And the only way they're runner-up if they don't get KD. They get KD. Hell yeah, we got a shot to win it. Lakers, you didn't get Anthony Davis. You're a loser. You got Muscala. Still don't even know who that is. But I will say one positive thing about the Lakers. They finally got rid of Beasley. Love Beasley. Good dude. Just, not an NBA player anymore. Or ever. He is. I do think he's better than Melo, though. He's like the lefty Melo, and I might put him ahead of Melo right now. But Lakers, losers, Knicks, winners. Boom.
All right. So I'll start with the loser, and I feel like it's one that probably been beaten by a lot of horses that you've probably already heard. Boston Celtics, I thought, were the big losers. They didn't do a damn thing.
Yes.
Maybe Danny Ainge knows something we don't know. But either way, man, I'm not saying you had to make that AD trade, but it would have been nice to kind of bolster something somewhere. I think especially maybe down low. Not necessarily get somebody to replace Al Horford, but maybe make a guy who's a sixth man off the bench type deal. I mean, Marc Gasol's not even starting in Toronto. He's sixth manning it for him. So I don't know. I thought they were the losers, obviously, just for the fact that they didn't do anything and they're kind of just floundering around. Winner. We'll go same building as your loser. I'm going the Clippers as the winner because they've set themselves up relatively, I think, in a more safer position than the Knicks did, which is the only reason why I'm going to put them ahead of the Knicks is because their picks are protected. And the one pick they got in the trade with the Sixers, if I forget what the deal is, but if it's not, I think it has something to do with the Celtics or something, but like if the Celtics, I think, make it to like the second or third round of the playoffs, like that pick automatically becomes like a top 3 or some like absurd thing like that. So that's a pretty big win, especially with the team that now for sure has slots for 2 maxes. You can get a guy like Kawhi in there, or maybe even KD. Maybe that's the Los Angeles team that KD ends up going to. And it's not like they got a decent core, not super great, obviously, on their own. But Lou Williams can still get it done. He's shown that a couple times this year, actually. The young guy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's played really well. It's kind of tapered off lately, but got off to a tremendous start. The rookie. Obviously, you don't have Tobias Harris there anymore with Boban, but they can compete with the Knicks next year in the free agency. Yeah, I mean, it sets yourselves up nicely for, I think, something that the NBA hasn't had in a while, and that is a true look, New York and Los Angeles are the two biggest markets in sports, period, across all boards.
Yeah.
This sets up for something that we haven't had in the NBA side for many years, being an LA, New York market battle for free agency.
Yeah.
So,
it's good to see Lakers and the Celtics as the losers.
it's interesting because those are both teams that needed to do something. And, I mean, the Lakers at least got traction. They made some room to try and do something, but it just didn't work out at least. At least they tried to do something, which is why I didn't rank them as my losers, because they at least tried to do something. The Celtics literally did nothing. So,
Yeah.
certainly interesting. But, you got anything else trade-wise?
Very slow.
Yeah, it ended up being a deadline where I think we all thought...
Overhyped.
I wouldn't say overhyped. I think a lot of it just had to do with we all thought... A lot of people thought Anthony Davis would get traded, when in actuality he probably wasn't, the way it sounds. So I think our hype was more or less around, hey, the Celtics got to get something done. The Lakers got to get something done. Let's see what they pull out. And they did nothing. They didn't haul in. Well, I'll go that route because the Lakers didn't get nothing in return other than cap space, and Celtics did nothing. So, but we'll stick with the NBA because, as I alluded to at the start of the show, the NBA All-Star Weekend is this weekend. Really the one thing in the NBA I kind of look forward to still a little bit. Friday you have the rookie... It used to be the Rookie Sophomore Challenge. Now it's the
Rising Stars.
Rising Star Challenge, where it's like Team USA versus Team World or something like that.
Still rookies and sophomores.
Yeah. But I liked it when it was rookies versus sophomores straight up.
Cool.
Those games were fun. We're old enough to actually remember that, though.
Not that long ago.
No.
Probably longer than I think.
Well, yeah, at this point, yeah. I think it's been 6 or so years since they switched over to that. But, yeah, so Friday's that, and along with, it's a tape delay. It's not live. It's or no, maybe it is live. I know it didn't used to be the celebrity game. But that's Friday night as well. Saturday, obviously, you have...
I don't know.
Saturday, obviously, you have all the competition, skill, three-point, and dunk. That's probably the highlight night of the weekend, really, in all honesty. And then you have the All-Star Game itself on Sunday. Tends to just be an offensive dominated game, no defense, whatever. So, I want to talk about, because we always talk about the favorite stuff and everything like that about it. So I wanted to get a vibe from you, Nick. What's your favorite like moments from the All-Star weekends throughout history?
Well, I'm just gonna say an All-Stars game in general. I feel like, I don't know about you, but me, the older we get, the less excited we get over All-Star games.
I don't know.
When I was a kid, they were there. I used to look really forward to all the All-Star games, all of them. Yeah, all of them. Not really Pro Bowl, but
No,
that's another story. But the best thing about the NBA All-Star Game, still in my mind, is I like the Saturday night. I used to record it all the time, watch it the next day. It used to be exciting. This year I haven't watched it in a couple years. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't watched it in a couple years. This year I might watch it because Dennis Smith is in the dunk contest. Got to remember, Dennis Smith is on the Knicks now. I still think Frank's better than Dennis Smith. Going to throw that out there. But it's the best part of the whole weekend. I would say the game is always overhyped. I don't even care about the game. I haven't really sat down and watched the NBA All-Star Game in a long time. But I might watch this year. Because I want to see how James Harden plays with these guys. Is James Harden really going to sit there and shoot 100 times a game while there's like a bunch of other good players on the team? I'm not sure what team. He's on the team LeBron. But I don't know. I am intrigued to see that. But I'll say I like the Saturday night the best. I'll probably go Celebrity Game second, and then the Rising Stars and the All-Star Game very dead last. But I'm interested in the Rising Stars if there's Knicks in there. There's not. There's Knox. There's no Knox. There's no Dennis Smith.
I think Knox got added, didn't he?
Oh, that's right. Actually, you know what? You're right. He did get added in. Okay. I got to look at the celebrity rosters, but then I'll see if I'll put the Rising Stars ahead of it. But Saturday night is still always my favorite. Out of the events on Saturday night, I always thought the three-point contest was cool. But I feel like it's rushed. It's very rushed. They're all cool. I never watched KP beat Jokic that one year in the skills challenge. I like the skills challenge. That was cool. Then there's the team play one. They used to call it the higher shooting stars.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't think they do that anymore, do they?
Do they not do it?
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
They used to play horse. That was before.
Oh, that's way back in the day, yeah.
Way back in the day. That was like before the event. It wasn't like part of the big night. But, the dunk contest used to be very exciting when it was Dwight Howard or Nate Robinson. I know I'm throwing out Knicks, but just everything was better back in the day. No, but
those were fun. Those were fun dunk contests. Like, that was, like, one of my favorite moments I wanted to talk about, right? Is, like, that whole entire – there was, like, a 2 or 3 year set where it was Dwight Howard, Nate Robinson. You had – I want to say it was Jason Richardson maybe was in there too. One of the two Richardsons, either Quentin or Jason. And one of them – who blew out the candle the one year on the cupcake on the rim? Like, I honestly forgot who it was.
Was it DeRozan?
It was a Timberwolf, I thought. I could be wrong.
Might be. I remember DeMar DeRozan. The reason why I'm a big fan is because of the dunk contest.
The dunk contest always gets me excited. It's probably my favorite event. Like, my favorite moments come from that. Like, the reason why, like, I, like, had for a few years a semi-obsession with JaVale McGee was because of his, like, absurd attempts at making the dunk contest, like, cool again. Like, he dunked on 2 hoops at once, I remember.
Yeah.
And then he dunked on, like, an 11-foot hoop. Like,
yeah.
It was nuts. Dwayne Wade in the skill competition in 2006 in Houston, I think it was, like, literally burned through it. Like, it was nuts.
There's Vince Carter.
Well, the Vince Carter one, like, we were too young to remember probably watching it.
Gerald Green blew the candle.
Gerald Green, that's right. Yeah. Old 4.5 fingers, Gerald Green.
Yeah, I just learned that.
But, yeah. Oh, my God.
And people are hating on the Blake Griffin thing. I thought that was cool.
Blake Griffin tried to make it cool, though. Like, you got to remember, like, these guys were trying to make it cool to be in the dunk contest again. Like I was watching a video, I think it was on SB Nation, about how it was about the Vince Carter dunk. But, like, they brought up how, like, none of, like, the guys you want to see in the dunk contest usually do it. Like, we've been for years wanting, like, LeBron to be in it, and he's never done it.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Never done
it. And, like, you can't have, like, a guy like Shaq. You don't see it as much, obviously, anymore. That's the way the game is. But you can't have a guy like Shaq in it because he's very one-dimensional in dunking. But you gotta have, like, the guys like LeBron who are super athletic, right?
I'd love to see Westbrook.
Those guys, right? Westbrook would probably be crazy to do it, but, like, they just don't do it, and it sucks.
Durant, they're all there.
Durant would be another fun one to watch, and he just doesn't do it.
And they're all there.
Yeah. So
it's not like they're busy. We see you in the stands in your street clothes.
All you're doing is taking pictures and videotaping. Yeah.
Get out there and dunk.
Do it.
I did it. I won.
That's right. He's got a trophy to prove it.
Yeah.
Check out a snap if you want to see it.
What do you think of the All-Star game?
The game itself, I used to like, not really anymore because there's, like, no defense. I think the last time they tried to play defense, Dwayne Wade broke Kobe Bryant's nose.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
He had death threats from the Mamba Nation. Like, yeah, I'll tune in probably. I'll be coming off the Daytona 500 high I've been on, and but yeah,
unless the Daytona 500 has a bunch of rain delays.
Well, then I'm definitely not watching the All-Star game. But, yeah, I used to tune in all the time. Well, here's the thing about the All-Star game, right, is especially growing up, me and my brother Pat would always go down to the Daytona 500. We went down for, like, 5 straight years.
Is the Daytona 500 always All-Star weekend?
It used to, well, yes, except for like a run of like 5 years, which ended a couple years ago when they did it the weekend after President's Weekend, which is when they do the NBA All-Star Game. So like we would be like any other major sporting event, right? Traffic is always terrible, but you gotta remember Daytona Beach, Florida, for those, and I'm assuming probably most of the people who tune in don't know, Daytona Beach, Florida is a decent-sized population, but it's nothing really more than, like, I'd say, like, the population of Auburn, give or take. And when you have, it doesn't have, like, the same road system as it, but when you have roads and similar road systems like Auburn does, and you have, like, at its peak, 200,000 people trying to get out at effectively the same time, plus all the race teams and all that, like, traffic is a goddamn nightmare. So we would typically, when we leave, we'd go west, we'd go to Tampa for the rest of the week. So, like, we'd get to Orlando and just spend the night somewhere. By the time we got to Orlando, it's already, like, the NBA All-Star Game's already in, like, the fourth quarter. So,
yeah.
So for us, we'd always watch skill competition Saturday night up in Jacksonville at our family friend's house up there. So for me, the All-Star Weekend has always been Saturdays, and I still love watching Saturday because of the dunk contest. 3-point contest, obviously, it's just fun because you're just seeing these guys trying to huck up, 30 shots? Or no, 25 shots in a round. Like, it's in a minute. It's kind of cool.
I'll ask you, what do you like better, Saturday skills competition or the home run derby?
Oh, home run derby. Home run derby. Something about look, chicks dig the long ball, man. There's something about the home run derby that's just awesome.
I'll agree with you.
Like, I think I've said this now, like, I don't think I'd care so much about going to the All-Star Game. I'd want to go to, like, the stuff, like, the day before. Like, for me, home run derby is all I want to go to. Like, that's where the players are more, like, accessible anyway. And then, like, the All-Star Game for baseball is probably a little bit different because the defense has the ball in their hand, obviously. But, man, there's something about, like, those so obviously NBA is Saturday, for baseball it's Monday, you know, that type of deal. But there's something about that day before competition, like hockey, I think hockey is Friday night.
Saturday now.
Yeah. The skill competition for hockey is fun too. Like, that type of stuff's fun because you're putting and it's something I think that baseball, the MLB should try and look at as, like, hey, maybe find some way to do, like, a skill competition, right? Where I saw a video that was awesome, like, on Twitter where, like, the Japanese league had, like, a thing where you had to hit them through, like, 16 different spots. Like, that was nuts. And you only had, like, a minute to do so. Like, that'd be crazy.
I know. And baseball does have that more time now.
Yeah.
They don't start playing, I think there was one game on that Thursday, but they just don't, they could move it to Friday. They don't have to.
For the most part, yeah, it's Friday. I
Friday.
think Thursday, if they got to make up a game where you have, like, a rogue 4-game series, but you're not traveling
for the
super
most part,
far.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
So they have time. They have that whole middle of the week to do whatever they want.
Yeah, they do. It's just, yeah, I mean, Saturday for me is awesome. Talk about, like, the Vince Carter thing. But, yeah, my favorite moments from, like, the All-Star Game for the NBA is, like, that 2 or 3 year stretch where Nate Robinson and Dwight Howard were literally going after it every year for the dunk contest.
Yeah, that was fun.
Because Nate Robinson, yeah, he's short, but he wasn't doing, like, all the things Spud Webb was doing. Like, he was actually trying, like, stuff like the bigger guys did.
He did jump over.
And he won it twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think enough said about that, right? It was like when you do something like that.
And they got to remember, it's an entertainment.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going super hard to win the dunk contest. It's for us.
Yeah.
The whole weekend is supposed to be for the fans.
I mean, I think we're finally getting back to the dunk contest being fun again a little bit when we had Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine.
Who's in it this year?
DSJ, right?
That's the only one I know. I haven't looked into it.
I'll look it up. I think DSJ, I thought I saw something like Frank Mason maybe. I don't know. Let me check.
It's been, for the most part, it has been guys that are trying to make a name in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, Zach LaVine, the only reason people even know this guy is because of the dunk contest, for the most part. And that's how I know him. I don't know.
Dunk contest is DSJ. Hamidou Diallo from the Oklahoma City Thunder. I have no idea who that is. John Collins of the NL Hawks. I do know who that is. And I do know who Miles Bridges of the Charlotte Hornets is.
Mm.
So 3 guys I at least know of there. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. And you're going to know this Diallo. Why watching it?
I mean, I'll watch it anyway. I mean, only because I like it.
Well, I'm saying you're going to know who this guy is after this. You don't know who he is now. That's what the point of it is.
I'll say this. I'm really excited to see Dirk in his final 3-point contest.
He is doing it.
Yeah. He'll be the sentimental favorite. But you got the Curry brothers going at it in that. So that'll be pretty interesting and cool to see.
Klay Thompson playing?
Klay is not in it. Skill competition, that'll be interesting to kind of see.
They're going to try to get the Curry brothers in the finals.
I don't know. Well, obviously, yeah. I mean,
that would be good.
Yeah, that would be the, as we call it, the fixes in type matchup. I think they do 3 now though in the finals.
Well, is it?
I think so. I could be wrong.
Like I said, I haven't watched in a couple years, but this year I'm going to make sure I watch it.
Yeah. So
I used to like it back in the day.
Yeah. We'll transition over to the final main topic of the night.
Let it rip, Paul.
Yeah, NASCAR, baby.
Before you get going,
do a little preview. What
will there be? What's his name? Montoya.
Juan Pablo Montoya.
Will he burn down Daytona?
He's not even. No, he's doing his own stuff in sports cars with him.
He was the guy that burned it that one year. Took forever.
He had. So I'll nerd. He had someone break in his rear and it cut the car. And 2012 Daytona 500.
Yeah, I knew it was high
That
school.
was a long night of watching that race. We had like a rain delay too. It was nuts. But we almost had a surprise winner that year in Dave Blaney. So
who won?
Matt Kenseth won it that year.
They finished that night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
It was a long night. They got done and it ended up going into Monday.
Yeah, it was late.
That was one of the first years they did the race after President's Weekend.
Mm.
So whatever that weekend is after, like this year would be like the
23rd,
24th. And yeah, we had school the next day, I remember, and I was beat, and I came into school like a zombie, and I think a couple people wondered why, and I'm just like, NASCAR. So yeah, but yeah, the season kicks off officially this Sunday with the 500. We've had the Busch Clash. The Advanced Auto Parts Clash was this past Sunday, along with Busch qualifying for the pole. William Byron will be starting on pole. Teammate Alex Bowman was starting second. Those were the only 2 set positions going into Sunday until the Gander Outdoor Duels on Thursday. So
it's just Thursday.
Thursday have the duels.
I thought they have 2 duels.
Yeah, the duels.
They're both Thursday.
Yeah, that's why they're called duels, because you have 2 of them. But then on Friday we have the truck race. Friday night's truck race. Saturday afternoon we have the Xfinity guys, and then Sunday is the big show.
You getting used to calling it Monster Energy?
Yeah, I typically just call it the Cup Series anyway, which is what it technically is. It's the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. So, I mean, I typically will just call it the Cup Series. Every now and then I'll end up saying Sprint. Even then I'll bust out a Winston Cup every now and then, which is really dating myself, obviously. But
I think Xfinity would sound nice.
Well, yeah. They're big supporters of the sport anyway, sponsoring the second tier division.
Yeah.
So,
like, if I hear those 2 names, I would think the Xfinity would be the bigger.
Honestly, I thought the best one so far, tied for 2, with 1A, 1B, was obviously Sprint Cup Series, when Sprint was the sponsor for the Premier Series, which is 500 guys. And then when Nationwide Insurance sponsor was now the Xfinity Series, it was called the NASCAR Nationwide Series, which I thought was pretty cool, at least.
That's what I grew up with, was Sprint and Nationwide. I remember those.
See, for me, it was before those title sponsors was Winston, a cigarette company, so Winston Cup Series. And then what is now the Xfinity Series was the Busch Series for Busch Beer. So
I think my dad says that Busch.
Yeah,
calls it the Busch.
Yeah, a lot of people his age, when they ask me about whatever, it's still Busch, still Winston.
Yeah, they say Busch a lot.
If they know anything deep enough, it's still the Craftsman Truck Series. So, yeah, a lot of interesting stuff there. So I know you always ask me some questions, Nick. So I was kind of anticipating some of those. So fire away if you have any questions right now. Before I get into my main spiel and shtick about it.
So, Joey Logano is the defending champ.
That is correct.
What are we expecting out of Jimmy Johnson this year?
Yeah, so
I don't want to get you really into it.
Jimmy won the Clash on Sunday. Got a new sponsor this year. Lowe's left. He's now got Ally Financial as a sponsor. It's
crew chief.
New crew chief, Kevin Meander.
This year, right?
Yeah, Kevin Mendering comes over from the Xfinity Series. Crew chief, the recently retired Elliott Sadler in the Xfinity Series. But Mendering has been in the Cup Series before. He was Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car chief, not crew chief, but car chief for a number of years before crew chiefing down the Xfinity Series.
Now, what's a car chief?
Car chief kind of handles more in the shop stuff. He travels on the road with the team to the races, but it's more of an in-shop type of deal, getting the car set up, that type of deal. Whereas the crew chief does a lot of the stuff at the track. He still has a play in hand what goes on in the shop. It's kind of like the best way to describe it on a really large scale. Crew chief is president. Car chief is VP. So, yeah, Jimmy, I'm expecting bigger things from him this year.
Who was his crew chief last year for the year?
Chad Knaus.
Yeah, he was him for a while.
He's now with William Byron, his teammate, who won the pole.
Really?
Yeah. So I think Jimmy will get probably about 2 or 3 wins, make the chase, obviously. Probably get through the first couple rounds, but other than that, I'm not too sure. I'd expect a really good bounce back year for Jimmy this year.
When's the last time he won?
The title? 2016. So he's not too far removed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't that long ago.
He won the last one with Sprint, actually.
Okay.
He's won all of his titles under the Nextel/Sprint era.
Now, is there any other girl drivers up in the future?
In the future, yes. So on Friday in the Truck Series, there will be a driver by the name of Natalie Decker.
She's in the Truck Series?
She will be in the Truck Series part-time this year. She will be in ARCA part-time this year, which is a separate deal that NASCAR bought out, but they're under the banner still of ARCA. She's also running what is the K&N Pro Series as well, both East and West select races, which is sort of like the single A type deal for NASCAR if you're looking at it.
Is that truck or is that?
No, that's below truck.
Oh, I mean, what is it? Is it truck?
She'll be in the truck race on Friday.
Yeah, the single A, is that truck or is that regular?
That
NASCAR. What is she driving?
She's driving across different series part-time this year, getting seat time.
Yeah. But the single A.
Single A is the K&N.
What is she driving in that? Is that a truck?
That's a car.
That's a car. Okay.
Yeah, that's a car.
Okay. So she is driving. She's not just a truck girl.
No, she's been with strictly cars pretty much her whole life, but she's got a family pedigree of racing. Her dad is a world champion snowmobile racer from Wisconsin. She's Midwest short track type of driver. She's hard-nosed. She's in the pipeline. There's another driver by the name of Haley Deegan. Her father is Brian Deegan, the extreme sports athlete. She won a race last year at Meridian out in Idaho in the K&M Pro Series West. So she is someone also to keep an eye on. She's a couple years younger than Natalie. She's 17. Natalie's 20.
Oh, wow.
No, 21, I think now. So,
these girls are young.
But those are the two I'd pinpoint saying if you're going to really hook on to someone in the female ranks, those would be the two.
I hope that is a good advice to our 1 to 2 female followers.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
But that's all right. But What do you expect out of Brad Keselowski?
Brad Keselowski, yeah.
What do you expect out of him? I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, so the Ford camp has a new body this year, the Mustang and the Cup Series. They've been running in the Xfinity Series, but comes up the Cup this year. Brad, for the most part, everything remains unchanged for him. He's got a new spotter this year, but other than that, that's about it. Same deal. I expect him to be in contention for the championship. I don't know any other way to put it.
Has he only won once?
He's only won once, but every year he's in it somehow, some way. So
now they say like win 3 championships in some sports is big deal. Like that's like you're in elite status.
Yeah.
What is NASCAR? Win 2?
I'd say probably the same deal. Well, I think you win 1 in NASCAR, you're elite. Only because you look at history, number of multiple-time champions is, well, champions period obviously is relatively small. It's the youngest of what was the power sports at one time in the 90s when NASCAR was at its very popular state. So, yeah, I'd say you win 1, you're almost a lock for the Hall of Fame. So
now, Chase Elliott ever going to be the next Jeff Gordon? Still driving 24?
Even Jeff Gordon, even Chase says there can't be. No, he's in the 9 now.
9. I thought he changed.
But even Chase and Jeff Gordon, everyone else says there can't be another Jeff Gordon because of what Jeff Gordon did for the sport. So I'll answer it this way. He has all the opportunity and possibility in the world to be the next driver of that caliber.
He's good.
He's good. He finally won last year. First race he won was down in Watkins Glen. So,
did you go?
I was there. Me and my dad and your Uncle Tom Marino went down. Yeah, that was pretty cool. We left a little bit early though, more or less to beat traffic again.
That's the main race you went?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last year I went to Richmond in the spring and only Watkins, and this year
I thought you went to Dover last.
No, Dover was 2 years ago. I'm going to guess it'll probably be the same deal for me again this year. Will probably just be the first Richmond race, and then Watkins, and then only because I'm probably getting season tickets for Syracuse football, I probably won't be able to go to Richmond again because that's Clemson/homecoming weekend up at the Dome. So if I don't get those if I don't end up getting the season tickets, I'll probably go to Richmond.
So is there anybody in the 24?
Yeah, that's William Byron.
Oh, the guy that just won the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I've learned a lot about this William Byron guy.
I'm going to nerd out again here for a second. Technically, the 24 team that Chase Elliott was at originally is still his team. It's just renumbered to 9. And the 24 now is a renumbered 5 car originally.
So Chase Elliott's team is Jeff Gordon's
Elliott's team is Jeff Gordon's team.
So
still.
the Jeff Gordon fans that decide to root for Elliott are
they're
still with Elliott.
They're probably still Chase Elliott fans, would be my
But this
bet.
William Byron guy now, Jimmy Johnson's old crew chief, old number, I might be a fan. I know Carl Edwards is gone.
More power to you.
If he starts doing backflips, I'm sold.
I still root for all the Hendrick guys because I was a Gordon fan growing up. But, I mean, I mostly root for Darrell Wallace Jr. and Ryan Blaney. And Matt DiBenedetto. But
who?
Matt DiBenedetto. He's Italian, so I root for that out.
What about Bubba?
Bubba, yeah. So,
second year, right?
Yeah, second year should be interesting. Obviously, they have a new rules package this year, so it should be fun to see what that
Bubba
does.
Bubba
Wallace. In my opinion, they can only go up from where they really were last year.
But before you go,
yeah,
give me one surprise racer to look out for this season.
Surprise racer to look out for this season. Wow. If I had to pick, I'm picking Matt DiBenedetto because he will have moved up technically in the garage ranks from Go Fast Racing to Levine Family Racing. They have Joe Gibbs Racing Alliance with them. Joe Gibbs Racing is the premier Toyota team. So it should be interesting to see what he can do. I'm not saying necessarily a win, but he might poke his head up in
playoffs?
the top 10. Probably not playoffs, no. But he'll poke himself up there in the top 10 a little bit. And that type of deal, yeah. Locally fan-wise, too, by the way. From Waterloo, originally Mike McLaughlin, who raced in the Xfinity Series. His son is racing in the K&M Pro Series East this year first full year on pavement racing for him. So it should be interesting and fun to see there.
But we'll be talking more about NASCAR next week.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about if we want
to. You got to recap. You can't just leave people on edge here. You can't just leave people on edge.
So, Nick, obviously you don't watch too much of NASCAR. I think you only watch the Daytona 500. We did together last year. So who's your pick to win?
I'll flip on Watkins.
What?
I'll flip on Watkins.
All right. We'll get you down there this year, maybe, if you want to go down.
All right. Maybe.
But so who's your pick to win the Daytona 500?
My pick?
Yeah.
William Byron. I think he's got it.
Got
the crew. He's got a winning mentality with the crew chief. He's got a winning number. Mm-hmm. And he's at the pole. I'm picking him. William Byron. I'm a big fan now. I think I'm sold.
I'm going to go with we'll probably do this too after this. I just remembered something. I'm going to go with knocking off the restrictor place stigma for him. I'm going to go with Kyle Busch, your Daytona 500 winner.
Yuck.
I know.
The Bushes.
That's what I'm going to go with.
Will you ever pick Joey Logano? Not a fan.
I mean, he won the championship last year.
You got to hate somebody.
Who's your championship pick?
Championship pick.
For
Jimmy
NASCAR.
Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson? All right.
He's going to do it without his crew chief.
I'm going to go with Brad Keselowski.
Okay.
As your champion this year.
So you like him this year?
I think, yeah. That's my bet.
All right.
So with that in mind,
we got the caller.
We do. We have one call. So just a quick reminder before we get to it, Nick, can get your headphones ready quick. That way you have a voice and ears on this. Just remember, call in 866-315-3591, extension 804. Tell us who you are, maybe where you're from. I don't know. I don't really care about that particularly too much. But, yeah, so without further ado, Nick, let me get my headphones on and let's get to the call.
Hi, this is Matt wondering about your show. I noticed you guys talked a lot of college football throughout the year. I was wondering if you guys could maybe give a recap on the college basketball week as well. I'm very curious about what you guys think of the standings each week and at least the 5 main conferences and about maybe some bubble talk and stuff. Thanks. Bye.
All right.
Interesting question.
Yeah, that was an interesting question. So
a little tricky. We don't have the budget.
So, Matt.
Who are these 5 conferences, Matt?
Yeah, I'm assuming he means the Power 5. But, yeah, so luckily for you, Matt, starting next week, we discussed a little bit before the show. We think we're going to move towards the direction of having a little bit of time every week to discuss college basketball moving forward here down the stretch. Obviously, there's only 3 weeks of regular season play left, and then March Madness.
Bubble Watch.
So, yeah, Bubble Watch. We'll discuss that a little bit, obviously. We'll discuss not power rankings, obviously, but, the rankings as they're out, standings, all the fun stuff, obviously. And, yeah, we'll start next week. We will do that for
See, people, it's not hard to call in.
So, that in mind, that takes us to the end of the show.
We got you, Matt.
Flew by today, actually. Felt like it really did go by today.
But before you go, before you send it to me, so before.
So before.
Do you enjoy the new chair?
Yeah, there's a new chair over here.
Oh, don't lie to me.
I'm not. No,
you're afraid of heights.
Okay. I missed the old chair, but I will get used to the new chair.
All right.
I found a really good position I'm in with it, so.
Yeah.
With that in mind, Nick, I'll toss it over to you.
I don't know if I ever shouted out this person.
Who's your shout out?
But I'm going to shout out Jaron Johnson.
Wow. All right, Jaron.
He's an old Seneca Falls resident. He lives, I can't remember if it's North or South Carolina.
South.
But he goes to Marquette. The kid went to St. Bonaventure. Minders grad. St. Bonaventure grad. Hopefully Marquette Law School grad. I don't know how he's doing in school, but
he's doing well.
I have not checked his report card.
Shout out Jaron.
Jaron, he's a Cavs fan.
I played 2K with him a lot.
Okay, you seem to know him, but he's a Cavs fan. Big win yesterday, beating the Knicks. They're now 2 games ahead of the Knicks. Knicks still the worst team. What up, Jaron? Shout out.
All right. After that clumsy ending. I'll take us on out here, Nick. Sound like a plan?
All right.
All right, so for Nick Felice, I'm Paul Russo. Thanks for tuning in.
Call in like Matt.
Yeah, call in, subscribe, rate, all the fun stuff. Rate, subscribe, comment, like, all the fun stuff. We'll catch you again this time next week on Finger Lakes 1.